So everybody knows the election in Alabama. It's running hot and heavy. Let's check out some of the candidates. These are some of the commercials done for Alabama's primaries. Considering voting for someone like, oh, I don't know, Tim James? Well, let's see what he's all about.
I'm Tim James. Why do our politicians make us give driver's license exams in 12 languages? This is Alabama. We speak English. If you want to live here, learn it. We're only giving that test in English if I'm governor.
What? Listen to this guy. This guy's trying to make a...
We speak English. If you want to live here, learn it. We're only giving that test in English if I'm governor. Maybe it's the businessman in me, but we'll save money.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Sure.
Does it to you?
No, it doesn't, Tim.
Maybe it's the businessman in me, but we'll save money.
How's that going to save money? No, there'll be no confusion. Yeah, it's called assimilating, you creep.
Why do we give driver's license tests in 12 languages?
Well, maybe because people from all over the world come here.
If I'm governor, that test is going to be in English.
Now let's check out this guy, Les Phillip.
This is a story of two young men. One fell in with left-wing radicals, the other immigrated to America. While one played with terrorists and allowed his America-hating pastor to baptize his children, the other joined the Navy to defend his...
Well, just so you know, if you're wondering who the America hater is, playing with terrorists, it's our president. She's putting pictures of Barack Obama on the screen. And naturally, he has the picture of Obama with the cigarette, which I don't think was in full color. Now it is. I think he literally... Let's back up and see what Les Phillip says.
One fell in with left-wing radicals, the other immigrated to America. While one played with terrorists and allowed his America-hating pastor to baptize his children, the other joined the Navy to defend his country. I love America, but President Obama is ashamed of it. I'm going to Congress to help stop him from destroying our nation, and they're not going to call me a racist. I'm Les Phillip.
Because he's a black guy. They're not going to call me a racist. Oh, boy.
This country. I love America, but President Obama is ashamed of it. I'm going to Congress to help stop him from destroying our nation, and they're not going to call me a racist. I'm Les Phillip, and I took an oath to defend this country against enemies foreign and domestic. And I approve this message.
Jeez.
Paid for by the friends of Les Phillip.
Yeah, paid for by the worst people on the planet. What a horrible message. Because that's the one thing I do pay. I will agree with Les Phillip on this. Every time I hear Obama speak, it is crystal clear how much he hates America and how he's trying to destroy it. I mean, everybody knows that's his M.O. It's kind of indisputable. Now let's check out this commercial done by a GOP group attacking Republican gubernatorial hopeful Bradley Byrne.
Bradley Byrne was a Democrat.
Now he's a Republican.
On the school board, Byrne supported...
Now, just so you know, it's a weather vane. One side is, it says liberal, and then it's like Bradley Byrne, the candidate, liberal. No, Bradley Byrne, the politician, liberal. Bradley Byrne, the candidate, conservative.
Now he's a Republican.
On the school board, Byrne supported teaching evolution, said evolution best explains the origin of life.
What? Hold on. This maniac said what?
Teaching evolution, said evolution best explains the origin of life. Even recently said the Bible is only partially true.
Hold on a second. He said that the Bible is only partially true? This lunatic. I think we can get him committed.
Can you believe this guy said that the Bible's only partially true?
Best explains the origin of life? Even recently said the Bible is only partially true.
Candidate Byrne changed his tune.
Legislator Byrne voted to raise property taxes, income taxes, the sales tax, and even tax health insurance premiums.
Byrne claims he won't do it again.
Bradley Byrne, another liberal blowing in the wind.
Trying to look conservative.
Oh, boy.
Is how it goes? Is this how it's going down in Alabama?
Bradley Byrne says he's a conservative.
So if I was like a Southern guy, I think the only thing that'd be more offended by me doing that voice is the guy in the actual commercial doing it. I'm parodic. I'm doing it parodically. Guy in the commercial.
You know, down here at the old Cracker Barrel.
Like, and the music in the background. Ba-doom, 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 boop, ba-doo, boop, boop. As if they're, Now, this guy looks good. I like this guy. Dale Peterson. He's running for Alabama's agriculture commissioner. So, that seems like a pretty passive position, I guess, right? Agriculture commissioner. I want to see what he's all about.
I'm Dale Peterson, and
all right, it's him on a horse farm. First of all, it's the Constitution and a Marines and dog tags.
I'm Dale Peterson, and I'm after the Republican nomination for Alabama Agriculture Commissioner. I've been a farmer, a businessman, a cop, a Marine during Vietnam, so listen up.
And this guy, just for a point of reference, he looks like a really mad James Cromwell. Like if James Cromwell was like furious. Or Jerry West. He has like a little Jerry West in him also.
I've been a farmer, a businessman, a cop, a Marine during Vietnam, so listen up. Alabama Ag Commissioner is one of the most powerful positions in Alabama, responsible for $5 billion. Bet you didn't know that. You know why? Thugs and criminals. If they can keep you in the dark, they can do whatever they want with all that money.
Hold on. Thugs and criminals. If they can keep you in the dark, they can do whatever they want with that money? Did you know that?
A Marine during Vietnam, so listen up. Alabama Ag Commissioner is one of the most powerful positions in Alabama, responsible for $5 billion. Bet you didn't know that. You know why? Thugs and criminals. If they can keep you in the dark, they can do whatever they want with all that money. And they don't give a rip about Alabama. Here we are, losing 3 family farms.
They don't give a rip. They don't give a rip.
Bet you didn't know that. You know why? Thugs and criminals. If they can keep you in the dark, they can do whatever they want with all that money. And they don't give a rip about Alabama. Here we are, losing 3 family farms a day. Illegals bust in by the thousands, and Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving...
Hold on a second. Now this guy, first of all, every shot in this commercial is this guy head-to-head with his horse. This poor horse. I always wonder with like a pet like that, if they're just like, man, my owners are just a real creep. Like if you can just all of a sudden realize like if a pet could realize, it's like, oh, my owner's the worst.
A rip about Alabama. Here we are, losing 3 family farms a day. Illegals bust in by the thousands, and Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters.
Okay, he's complaining about yard signs being stolen in the dark of night by his...
Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy?
And just so you know, when he said, who on earth would support such a dummy, it was a close-up of his horse. And the editing is so jarring in it, you'd think it was, it's like a Chemical Brothers video. Like you could get an epileptic seizure watching this video. And my opponents don't give a rip. He goes on his Facebook. Like this guy actually is like a superhero in a way. He's a cop, a Marine, a businessman, and he knows all about Facebook and yard signs.
I gotta see this guy.
Mike needs to see this guy. Okay, Mike. Here you go.
Much. The description, oh my goodness.
That money. And they don't give a rip about Alabama. Here we are, losing 3 family farms a day. Illegals bust in by the thousands, and Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy? And why? We're Republicans. We should be better. About
oh no! Yeah. Oh, there's the other thing. I just want. He just dragged a shotgun like a rifle into. Apparently, he had this rifle on his hip the whole time. Now he just lifted it into the shot.
Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy? And why?
And why? And why?
Illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy? And why? We're Republicans. We should be better than that.
There's the gun.
I'm Dale Peterson.
He literally said, we're Republicans. We should be better than that. And dragged a gun into the shot. Like, what is it? We're Republicans. Go get your guns. We're going in the streets. We're taking back the street. We're taking it back. I don't give a rip. I think I just found my new phrase. I don't give a rip. I don't give a rip. Like, you're basically cursing when you say it like that.
Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy? And why? We're Republicans. We should be better than that.
Now, is a gun?
I'm Dale Peterson. I'll name names and take no prisoners. Give me the Republican nomination.
Now he put the gun on his shoulder, like over his shoulder. I'll name names and take no prisoners. What is this guy? Is the guy gonna start shooting people? I'll name names and take no prisoners.
We're Republicans. We should be better than that. I'm Dale Peterson. I'll name names and take no prisoners. Give me the Republican nomination for Ag Commission, and let's show Alabama we mean business.
There you go. It's got my vote. What a dolt. Unbelievable. This guy. Now here's the final one. Alabama Supreme Court Justice Roy Moore was disciplined and later voted out of office when he defied a federal court order to remove a stone replica of the Ten Commandments from the state Supreme Court building. Now this is his bid for governor.
Modern day hero, his feet on the ground.
Now it's people singing. It's like a group. It looks like it's like a kind of like a. It looks like if Boyz II Men kicked one of them out and replaced them with
his feet on the ground,
and replaced them with who's that guy look like? If Boyz II Men kicked one of the guys out and replaced him with the older brother on the Wonder Years, like literally, if Boyz II Men were just like one of the 4 members had to go, we got to bring in the older brother from Wonder Years.
His feet on the ground, stands up for God, and he never will back down. Fought for his country, and he fights for the truth. Judge Roy Moore cares for me.
Now they show him, he fights for truth. He's sitting in a thing, and this guy with a vest on with tattoos running up and down both arms, literally looks like Dave Navarro. sits down 2 folding chairs away from him, and he reaches over and shakes his hand as he's flipping through. I think it's the Bible he's flipping through. Let's see.
For his country, and he fights for the truth. Judge Roy Moore cares for me and you.
Now he's talking to an old lady.
Fights for freedom, family, and faith. Hey, Alabama, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
Got my vote. It's got my vote. I still will vote. You know what, though, ultimately, when it comes to this guy, Roy Moore, I don't give a rip about him. This is my guy, Dale Peterson.
I'm Dale Peterson, and I'm after the Republican nomination for Alabama Agriculture Commissioner. I've been a farmer, a businessman, a cop, a Marine during Vietnam. So listen up. Alabama Ag Commissioner is one of the most powerful positions in Alabama, responsible for $5 billion. Bet you didn't know that. You know why? Thugs and criminals. If they can keep you in the dark, they can do whatever they want with all that money. And they don't give a rip about Alabama. Here we are, losing 3 family farms a day. Illegals bust in by the thousands, and Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support?
Is this guy going to go shoot everybody on Facebook? You look out. I'm going to write some nasty comments about you. Like he'll go in the comment section. Not only do I not like you, I don't give a rip. Like the other guy would have something on Facebook, and all of a sudden it's like, it would say like Dale Peterson in caps. Everything would have to be in caps. Maybe they could find a way to like do like italics but tilted the other way, and maybe that would represent his like shrill whiny voice. Like, well, when italics go this way, it's meant for emphasis. When they go the other way, just imagine it coming from Dale Peterson's from his voice.
Alabama's unemployment's at an all-time high. And what are my opponents doing about it? Stealing yard signs in the dark of night from my supporters. Norman Grace brags on his Facebook page about receiving contributions from industries he would regulate. Bragging about receiving illegal money on Facebook. Who on earth would support such a dummy? And why? We're Republicans. We should be better than that. I'm Dale Peterson. I'll name names and take no prisoners. Give me the...
Who doesn't love a guy who names names? Isn't that called being a snitch? Naming names? I'll still vote for him. FMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm doing all right. To whom am I speaking?
It's the H-Man.
The H-Man? What? My protege?
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. I actually have something for the topic.
Well, what do you have?
I think it pertains to the show, and now looking back and to what Wally said earlier in the show, I feel like being such a jerk to him when he took away my spot, now I look at it and I'm like, what am I doing? That wasn't me.
Yeah, you did. You lost your mind. We were all wondering what was going on. We were all wondering.
Yeah, it was the competitive side of me coming out, and even though I'm not very good at athletics, I'm competitive at other things, and I guess it just got to me.
You know what the problem was? You got to say sometimes, H-Man, I don't give a rip.
I really don't give a rip.
And what's up with the controversial tweeting that's going on?
What do you mean?
It's controversial. Some of the things you're writing is controversial.
Like what?
You wrote one thing where you're like, yeah, that's right, I said it.
I don't even remember.
I think it was about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia being syndicated.
Oh, I was just making a pun on the name of the show.
You called it It's Always Syndicated in Philadelphia?
I called it It's Always Syndicated on Comedy Central, yeah.
It's Always Syndicated, and then you said, that's right, I said it. You know what? Fair enough. You don't give a rip. I don't give a rip. I don't give a rip either. I don't give a rip. All right, you have a great night, H-Man.
You too, Tom. Take care.
What's that, Mike? I don't give a rip. And though it must be seen, this commercial, when you see his face yelling, I don't give a rip. FMU, you're on the air.
Hi, It's Sam from Racine. I have something quick for the topic.
What's up, Sam?
I saw this movie on TV. I didn't know what it was. Turned out to be, what do you call it? Heck Razor?
Well, thank you for keeping it family friendly. Heck Razor.
Thank you. Yeah. I was going to call it Sleep Razor.
Yeah, look,
anyway.
you can say Hellraiser. I'm going to let that slide.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was in the middle of it, and it was stupid. It's a horrible movie. But then I had to look it up, find out what I was watching, find out that there are 8 of them, and then I had to watch 8 of them. And I don't know why.
You just sat there watching it. Hypnotized.
Yeah, I had to sit through 8 increasingly horrible.
Wait, you watched all 8 of them?
Yes.
Well, that
eventually.
You have a screw loose. You spent 16 hours watching horror movies?
Well, they're mostly about 85 minutes long.
Okay, so you spent 12 hours watching horror movies. You know what you got to say sometimes, man? Say it.
That I do give a rip, though.
You do. You got to just say.
I do give a little bit of a rip.
Oh, you give a little bit. Thank you. You have a great night, Sam. FMU, you're on the air.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, who's this?
This is David from Verona.
David, how are you?
I'm doing well.
David,
how are you?
You're the intern.
Yes, I am the intern, the best show intern.
How are you, David?
I'm doing pretty well.
What can I do for you tonight?
I had one for the topic, but it feels like me talking about French fries is just so inconsequential after these Alabama. Like I was thinking about it while I was listening, and to me these Alabama governor race, it sort of reminds me of if in New Jersey either like a Tony Soprano lookalike or one of the guys from the Jersey Shore ran for governor in New Jersey. Like, I would personally be really, like, I feel patronized too. I feel offended. Like, don't the citizens of Alabama...
Yeah, when this cartoon character, it's almost like if it turned out it was a joke that they sent a guy down to act like that. He's like the Borat of Southern things, Dale Peterson.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden this guy starts talking with a British accent, like off camera.
Like if Marge Gunderson ran for governor in North Dakota.
Yes. I don't give a rip.